Welcome back to Football Life. This week we visit two clubs with a very strong tradition, a very strong rivalry and very new jumpers. Football culture, Glenorchy versus North Hobart. Nestled in between the Elwick Racecourse and the Glenorchy CBD lies a ground once described by Mark Browning as the best ground in all of Tasmania. Yes, it's the wide open spaces of the King George V Oval here in Glenorchy. It's also the home of the recently renamed Glenorchy Storm. Glenorchy originally played its football under the banner of Newtown and played in green and gold. In 1957, as the Hobart suburbs expanded ever north, Newtown became Glenorchy. The club has a great tradition and many great players have played under the banner of both Newtown and Glenorchy, including the legendary Roy Cazaly for Newtown and the inimitable Peter Hudson for Glenorchy, who kicked more senior goals than any other footballer in Australia. In a couple of days' time, Glenorchy will be playing a few kilometres down the road against their arch rivals North Hobart, the team they won their first flag ever against back in 1935.
Yeah, very Easter period as it is. Long kick by, it's a nice kick towards the forward Who's going to take the mark? Up and under, it's off the pack. It's a nice snap.
This year has been a big year of change for the Glenorchy Football Club. It's seen a return to regional footy and a sad farewell to the black and white jumper and the name of the Magpie. As of this year, Glenorchy are Storm and they play in green. I caught up with General Manager Shane Stevenson to ask him how these changes have affected the club.
Oh look, it's been a tough decision. We actually went to the members on the colour change and our logo. I mean, obviously it was one of the stipulations set down by the SFL. It certainly wasn't a club decision. We'd certainly like to be able to still be called the Magpies and wear black and white. But at the end of the day, we had to follow the stipulations set down by the SFL. And you know, one of those changes was to change our nickname, for example, from the Magpies, and we've gone to Glenorchy Storm. You know, obviously it doesn't please a lot of members, but I think at the end of the day, as long as we're playing football, I think that's the main thing. And with the jumper, obviously, we've gone to a green with black and white incorporated into the jumper. Green goes back to the days of the Newtown Football Club, where actually Glenorchy Footy Club was developed from. So we've kept a fair amount of tradition in that, as far as keeping the green and also the black and white in the jumper as well. So we've gone through a number of changes, and I think all I can say to the members is that, yeah, it is upsetting to lose that side of the tradition that we've had, but at the same time we're playing a game of footy, and we're still going to be called Glenorchy District Football Club, and you know, we still give the young boys in our community an opportunity to play football.
About 10 minutes drive down the road from Glenorchy back towards the city takes you to North Hobart, a suburb which has undergone an amazing transformation. When I grew up here during the 70s and 80s, it was a working class industrial suburb famous for its terraced housing, its small cottages and its working man's bars. But over the last 10 to 15 years, with the arrival of trendy cafes and bars, an amazing range of restaurants and the continued success of the state cinema, North Hobart has become a thriving bohemian metropolis. The North Hobart Football Club was established in 1881 by a group of men who were playing 12-a-side footy at the nearby Smith's Dairy Paddock just off Campbell Street. The club's always worn red and blue. Originally the Reds, then the Redlegs, then the Robins, and now the Demons. With both North Hobart and Glenorchy being traditional working class suburbs north of the Hobart CBD, over the years a fierce rivalry has ensued. So hopefully today's game should be an absolute pearler.
I see a steadfast man that I know, a bottle in his hand. I've seen a devout man that I know, with that bottle in his hand.
The North Hobart Oval is a lot smaller and more confined than KG5. The land that I'm standing on was originally woodland, it then became farmland and eventually a refuse dump before it was cleared and reshaped, and the Ryde Street stand beside me built in 1922 to become the North Hobart Oval. An oval which John Leedham claims is the best in all of Australia.
Oh, North Hobart. It's the best ground in Australia. I've played in the Melbourne Cricket Ground, South Melbourne, Adelaide, Western Australia, and this is a marvellous ground.
One of the controversial aspects of North Hobart Oval has been the very thin pockets which we see just behind us. And this is the reason why Collingwood coach Mick Malthouse recently gave the ground an absolute bagging. The Hobart City Council's always flirted with the idea of redeveloping North Hobart in one way or another, but nothing's actually ever happened. Through the smoke, I'd like to welcome you to my favourite part of football life, and that is sometimes a sav test, sometimes a passy test. Today at North Hobart, it's the hamburger test. I'm here with Vichy and Muscles. This is a new endeavour by the North Hobart Football Club, the barbecue.
Yep, we thought we'd bring the barbecue to the boys on a Sunday so they don't have to cook. We've got the TV in the bar, a couple of cold beers to watch what we're cooking down here, just so we can get people to come to the football.
And a great thing to get people eating a bit in the wet area, so it isn't just the consumption of alcohol.
No, well the guys on the ground said to us, "Oh look, you got to stop cooking. It smells so nice that we want to come off and try something on the barbecue."
Certainly, you can smell the barbecue from up in the media box, and I notice here you've got your tomato braising the onions.
Oh, that's an Italian specialty. A friend of ours, Joe Zucco, told me put tomato sauce with your onions, and it softens your onions up, and it's fantastic.
Beautiful. And what's the secret, Vichy, to a good hamburger according to you?
Garlic. Plenty of garlic.
Yep.
Get home, and that takes away the smell of the beer from the breath, and so the wives and the girlfriends can't pick it up.
That's great. So we're going to have maybe one of these hamburgers with garlic, a bit of the onion that's braised in tomato sauce.
Like that. There we go.
And you're going to be here on the Saturdays as well during the
every Saturday. Come up to the hill. We can get a beer up there and have one of these.
All right. Any chance of a bit of sauce with that?
Yeah. All right. There you go.
Bit of sauce, thanks, Muscles.
There you go, Dave. Hallelujah.
Now, the best thing to go with that, and they reckon.
I'll have a bite first. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, good night.
Quick now, take a mouthful. Come on, quick. Yeah, that's it.
Well, the garlic mixes really well with the beer. I reckon that's a great hamburger. I give that 8 out of 10. North Hobart flooded their backline in the first half, which led to a tightly fought but very scrappy game. The scores are very close up to three-quarter time, but in the final quarter, Glenorchy got the better of North Hobart to run out quite easy winners. After the game, we caught up with North Hobart personalities Joan Johnson and Eric Wiggins, and Football Tasmania Year 2000 Volunteer of the Year, David O'Man.
The club's still going today. This is our 120th season. Obviously, about 6 months ago, we were a bit concerned about us continuing, but we're very happy to be in the SFL this year.
Well, I don't know. People seem to travel wherever we go. We came to Commandy last week. We're off to Snug next week, and then all over the place. But it's been a bit of a big shock, the complete changeover.
That was it. I've missed 5 games of football since 1946, mainly because I've been involved in it.
You went up to the Newtown Oval?
Oh, I sat in the Newtown Oval there on the old wooden stand there for a few years, and that sort of thing. But football was good then, and I think we're back to good old football now, just the same.
Oh, well, I love the people that come here and that. And I said it's the friendliness and that too, It's a great club. Well, we wouldn't be going all these years and that, As I said, the most thing is it's so friendly and that, sometimes you feel as though, especially now I'm a widow, you're never alone. I don't know where it's all going to end up though. I'll leave that to the experts.
Well, a big thank you to Tas Kino for their continued support of football culture. Also to Thurgoods for supplying the tapes for us, and to Hobart band The Robinsons for the music. But let's have a look at one of those grabs once again. Now, if you can identify that man in the middle, there's Robbie Dykes, an elderly gentleman with a peaked cap, and a very spunky looking man in the middle. Write into Football Life or call Mark Stone at Football Tasmania on
6234 9177, Dave.
That is
6234 9177, Dave.
And if you write in or ring in and can tell us who that man was in the middle, we'll give you the football song absolutely free of charge.
David, there's only 3 questions today.
Really?
Muscles and Vichy, 2 guys who are pretty impressive, actually. They're pretty good, weren't they?
Yeah, they were great guys, and they really get into it there at the Oval with their steak sandwiches and their hamburgers, and really made something of the day. And in fact, when the Xintavelonis ran out, at the VFL game, they were still at hand, those boys, with their hamburgers, so they do a great job for North Hobart.
How is the weight going, Dave, with the Savs and the pasties and the hamburgers, mate?
Oh, getting around the state to all these regional locations, Stoney, I keep pretty fit, as well as eating some wonderful food from canteens from all over the place.
Nice, eh?
We're going to go to a break. After the break, John X, David Foster and footy versus wood chopping.
David Foster is a champ. He's a world champ. And for 19 years he's been prince of his peers. He's a champ.